Let's bring in Dan Raviv, who is a columnist for Newsday. Welcome to the program. As you see these images from your city, what goes through your mind?
There's a lot of shock here in Washington, D.C. I live in this city. About 700,000 people do. And of course, we also have the surrounding suburbs. Many government workers, many people stayed away from work on Wednesday because they felt there could be trouble with tens of thousands of pro-Trump demonstrators coming to Washington. There could be strife. Nobody thought this would happen, right? That so many of the demonstrators, and I would say that it was thousands who actually entered the Capitol building without permission. They broke windows, they burst through. Some of them sprayed pepper spray at some of the police officers on duty. And then inside, they took over the Senate chamber. So senators, 100 of them, and the House members, there are 435, they had to hide.
Okay.
So we're kind of in shock.
Definitely. And you say, you know, in the thousands, you're a journalist, you've been to this building, you know the layers of security that you have to go through. How does this happen?
Well, there are going to be investigations and hearings, I would say, about the security failure. Why weren't there more police officers on duty? On an ordinary day, you know, I might go to the Capitol building and I'd go and I'd walk like through an airport, through a magnetic detector, an X-ray machine, and you know, you're taking one at a time and it all seems fine. What happens when thousands of people waving flags, demanding to be let in, ignore the police and burst in? You're seeing some of the scenes. That's not tear gas necessarily sprayed by police. Some of the protesters brought pepper spray and CS gas. It was really ugly inside, and that is why, in circumstances we don't totally know, one woman, a protester apparently, was shot dead. As you say, 3 other deaths. And here in Washington, we have a curfew. As of 6 p.m., it was illegal to be outdoors without a really good reason until 6 a.m., and this is going on now for 15 days until Joe Biden is sworn in as president on January 20th. We still think that'll happen, but we wonder what will happen between now and then.
Exactly. That is my next question. I mean, indeed, there is a curfew, but does it stop here? As Donald Trump said in that video, go home. Do they go home in spirit? Does this stop here now?
Yeah, I think most of the demonstrators from out of state, out of this area, will go home. But Donald Trump will think of other things. He loves attention. He feels he was cheated in the election. There are signs that in the coming hours, members of his cabinet, that's right, could be the Secretary of Labor or Transportation, may resign. It's strongly rumored that there are members of the government who want to leave. Already the chief of staff of his wife, Melania Trump, she has resigned to protest what happened on Wednesday. We expect to see more of that. It's generally considered outrageous that Donald Trump told people to march to the Capitol building, and then he didn't seem to mind when they went inside and caused violence.
And that video message, did that go far enough? We know that Twitter has since taken it down. Other media platforms have reacted. Did that go far enough?
Yeah, the main reason Twitter took it down and then froze Trump's account, and then Facebook did the same, freezing it for at least 12 hours, was because he continued to claim that he was cheated. Now, in that video, he, as you heard, he told the protesters, "I love you," in effect saying, "You're great people," whereas almost everyone here in Washington, and I think most Americans, when they've seen this all day on television, feel that a horrible crime has been committed, trespassing, and assault on part of our democracy. And many people will blame Trump. I know he was outvoted and lost in the election, but he did get about 75 million votes. So he still has supporters, but I'll bet because of Wednesday's events, Trump lost, perhaps even a lot of his support.
And 4 people lost their lives too. Thank you so much. Dan Raviv, speaking to us from Washington, D.C., columnist for Newsday. We appreciate your time.